going to 4-2-3-1, aren't they?
That's what they played.
Do you know who's where?
To the paper, Ben said they played a 4-3-2-1 against West.
That's a triangle.
Yeah. Christmas tree formation.
Yeah. So am I wrong?
I don't know.
I think this is.
Once he steps out, we'll be able to look across the map.
And it might be different for Storm Lake. Okay, Zach. Hopefully you can still hear me. Okay. Let's see. We're 3-1. Okay. 3, 2, 1. SMU Channel 3, the Spencer Channel. The Spencer Tigers hosting the Storm Lake Tornadoes here at the Spencer Soccer Complex. The Tigers coming in at 3-1 on the season. The Storm Lake Tornadoes have played just one match. They are 1-0 on the season with a victory over Sioux Center. And the Tornadoes will start off in the green uniforms, getting us underway with the opening kick. The Tigers in their home white uniforms will be attacking the goal to our left. And the Tornadoes get us underway with Tyler Lear closing down the Storm Lake possession immediately. I'm Mark Magnuson, joined by Tom Van Tassel. The starting lineup for the Spencer Tigers: in goal, Cameron Cantrell, Aiden Perez, Sean Slattery, Tyler Lear, Cole Jacobson, Christoph Cruz, Dylan Ellis, Daniel Groth, Chris Miller, Marciano Reinbold, Nathan Hogue. The Storm Lake Tornadoes start off with a bit of possession. The Tigers intercept. Block made by Christoph Cruz. Ball played down the line, kept in by the Storm Lake Tornadoes. Hogue tries and does eventually win the ball back, and he sets Tyler Lear free. Lear onside, inside his own half when the pass was made down the far touchline. Ball taken off of his foot and knocked out into touch, and it will be a Spencer Tiger throw-in. Tom Van Tassel, how did the Tigers line up here to start things?
Well, I'm just trying to get the lay of the land here. And Mark, first thing I notice, formation in a minute, is to point out this is probably a 25-mile-an-hour wind, and it is favoring the Tigers at this point. It's out of the south, so blowing right to left.
Pretty constant as well, as you can see the American flag in the corner.
So that means punts and goal kicks and direct kicks going that way are going to carry a long way if you want to play them that way.
Ball kept alive in the box, and it takes a deflection off of a Spencer player. Finally, Lamar Mulgay.
And balls like that are going to not go anywhere.
Offside flag was up. Tyler Lear did not get back on side before getting ahead to that ball. Latest Class 2A rankings this week. Week number 2 have the Spencer Tigers at number 7 in the rankings. The Storm Lake Tornadoes number 10. Matchup of two ranked teams here today at the Spencer Soccer Complex. See the Storm Lake Tornado back line. You've got Lamar Mulgay at right back, Edgar Nunez at right center back. Here's Jose Nunez, the goalkeeper, with the goal kick, and the Tigers win it back immediately. Here's Dylan Ellis on the move. Dylan Ellis is bundled over. No foul given. And the Tigers again win the possession back immediately. Ball tried to play into a wide area.
Good play by Cole. Good play by Cole Jacobson there. Number 5.
Here's Marciano Reinbold to Daniel Groth, the Dane. Here's Sean Slattery. One back by Storm Lake in midfield. Aiden Perez knocked to the ground. The ball will sit up in front of Chris Miller. Miller played it long looking for Daniel Groth, who couldn't quite bring it in. Here's Kevin Duque. Duque now rolled out wide. Gerardo Rosiles. Back to Lamar Mulgay. Mulgay really playing wide. Good ball played in towards Rosiles. And Rosiles and Hogue get tangled up just a little bit. Rosiles hits the ground. No foul, and it will be a Tiger goal kick. Cameron Cantrell, with his first involvement in the match, getting his start tonight. And a long kick from Cantrell. Well won by the Tornadoes. Otherwise, Tyler Lear was on the way.
And Tyler Lear is playing the solo striker up front, and he'll play as high up as he can go. Tyler's very strong, physically strong individual, and he can play with his back to goal, or he can turn and sort of like basketball, use the guy as roll off the defender right behind him and go right to goal. He's got a strong leg either foot, so he'll be a real target player for the Tigers if they want to run that way.
So far here, games that have been played at home by the Tigers, Sioux City Bishop Elin and the Spirit Lake Park Okoboji Indians. The Tigers played two up front with Dylan Ellis pairing up front with Tyler Lear, and you can see here today that Dylan is out wide to the left.
And really kind of playing behind Tyler are Dylan Ellis and Sean Slattery and Daniel Groth. And that's a free form. You know, they'll end up with 2 and 3 people up top at times. But that's kind of the framework that they're playing within. And then behind them is Cole Jacobson and Reinbold. And then in the back, Perez and Miller and Hoagie and Cruz. And the outside back, and Cruz has gone up a lot. He's up there now.
Chance here for Tyler Lear, blocked down by Lamar Mulgay. Still alive, the ball headed towards goal. And it's going to be a whistle against the Spencer Tigers.
I think an offside.
Slattery was offsides, and it will be a free kick for the Tornadoes. But threatening signs here, a couple of instances early for the Spencer Tigers.
Tigers will be look at winning this ball quickly, because a ball up in the air like that is not going to carry very far. And that's actually a very good play by Storm Lake to get out of their end like that in possession.
Here come the Tornadoes. Duque, closed down by Hogue, gets around Nathan Hogue. Hogue back on his feet. Oh, a nice intervention there by Christoph Cruz. Cruz with a good ball through towards Daniel Groth, and the Tornadoes happy to just put that out into touch.
Tigers coming out 2-on-2 there if he could have maintained possession of that.
Cruz will take the throw in. Rolls all the way down the touchline. That wind really pushing the ball. Groth forces Storm Lake to make a play on it. And now the Tornadoes will see the ball bounce over the end line. It will be a goal kick. Tommy mentioned those two holding midfielders. Cole Jacobson and then next to him, Marciano Reinbold. Jacobson more likely to break the play up, and Reinbold more of a technician. He's got really good close control. He can keep the ball and get those moves started once the Tigers win it back. Here is Reinbold on the ball. Kevin Duque rolls it through. Chris Miller drops off just a bit. Tornadoes wait for some help to gather in the attack. Rolled back towards Efrain Gonzalez. Tornadoes patient here, moving it wide to the right side. Good layoff in a wide area, and the ball put in, drifting far away from Kevin Duque.
Good possession for the Tornadoes, and they still maintain it.
Back to Duque, stretching play very wide on the left-hand side. Puts the ball in with the left foot. Back to the top of the 18, not cleared by Spencer. The shot taken, but right at Cameron Cantrell. So it was a good shot, kept down, but Cantrell, that will do him some good to make that first save.
Look at that ball carry.
Tyler Lear chases after it, and ball goes out over the end line. Just a little bit too much help from the wind.
And you really have to adjust to that. And Cam's going to, you know, he doesn't have to hit it. Some will hit high and look for that long carry. Some will he'll hit a more driven ball and try to play possession on that. And then it's early in the year, and the field's still pretty hard. And so the ball's going to bounce high.
That shot from the Storm Lake Tornadoes was from Eugenio Rosiles. Here's Sean Slattery. Slattery rolls it back to Christoph Cruz. Early cross. Heavy touch from Tyler Lear, but it takes a fortunate bounce right to Groth. Now Reinbold onside, puts in a cross.
Nice cross.
Ellis was closest to it, but cleared by Storm Lake. Slattery with the snapshot, but it's over the crossbar and into the netting behind.
Pretty good defensive header there by the center back, but not good enough to get it out of the box. The ball hanging up in the wind there, and the Tigers pounced on it. And they'll be looking to do that all game long, and particularly here in the first half.
Jose Nunez with the goal kick. brought in midfield, and an early ball played through looking for Kevin Duque. Look at the pace from Duque. Duque couldn't get
Nice.
around Chris Miller, who got a touch. And then
Nice.
Nathan Hogue there to help.
Good little touch by Miller. And a shoulder-to-shoulder hip check on each other.
Headed on by Kevin Duque at the goalkeeper, Cameron Cantrell.
And there's a little bit lower ball from Cam looking for Tyler.
Lamar Mulgay, the right back, moving to the middle to help out.
And Dylan Ellis trying to connect with Tyler Lear there. Unable to do so.
Ryan Bold towards Jacobson. Taken away by Storm Lake Tornadoes. Daniel Urea coming back to help out.
And you can see the Tornadoes as they get into the middle third. They're really keeping the ball on the ground. They're going into the wind. And so that's what they need to do. That'll be a Tiger throw.
One thing the Tigers have done a nice job of so far is keeping the ball away from Dario Rosas Hernandez, who is a very talented player. He's hardly seen any of the ball. Lamar Mulgay flicks that on, didn't want to do that, and it's going to be a corner kick for Spencer.
So first corner kick. And this is a ball that from this corner, Dilla can play this right-footed. If he wants to play it, get some air under it with an in-swinger, he can play it out 25 yards out, starting on the line, and it'll come all the way back to the 6 probably. Or it hit a driven ball low.
Dylan Ellis to take this. The right-footed cross
Goes
is
the-
a good one, and it gets
Oh.
off of the crossbars. It bounced around everyone.
Right on the corner there. So he chose to hit the driven ball just outside the 6, and the wind carried it in one hop. Boy, I thought that was going to go in on the upper corner.
And Jose Nunez was stuck in no man's land. He didn't know whether to come out and get it or stay on his line. And you can see Nunez not the biggest keeper. And that ball was trouble for him. Here come the Tornadoes trying to build out from the back. Storm Lake has done a really nice job of having very good width. You can see players that are stretched out to both sides of the pitch. Here comes Lamar Mulgay to the near side.
And they're able to get out of their end pretty consistently. A lesser team would not be able to do that so frequently into this wind.
The Tigers can win it back here. Cole Jacobson. Tornadoes did have quite a few pressed up. Jacobson unable to roll it down the touchline towards Dylan Ellis.
Kept searching for someone to get the pass to.
Here's Lamar Mulgay, who started this game very well. Eugenio Rosiles. Now Daniel Urea. Back to Rosiles. Lamar Mulgay.
1 and 2 touch passes.
Gerardo Rosiles has it taken away by Aiden Perez. Off Mulgay's shin pads. Here's Rosas Hernandez. Chips the ball into the box looking for Kevin Duque, and Duque takes it away from Cameron Cantrell. His shot is blocked by Nathan Hogue, who did so well to get back and knew exactly where to position himself in front of that shot.
Great spot. Take that shooting lane away.
Big bouncing ball out towards Tyler Lear. Too far for Tyler to get to. But the first real nervy moment for the Tigers at the back. Here's a poor kick by Nunez. Dylan Ellis first to it. Mulgay trying to keep him away from the ball. Dylan gets back to it. Lays it off to Sean Slattery. Slattery couldn't control it.
Good work by Dylan there in the corner.
Rosiles to Rosiles.
Tornado showing wonderful control there, Mark.
They are, and they've played the ball, like you mentioned, the 1-2 touch passing, moving it all over the pitch. Playing into the wind, I think they know exactly what they need to do. Here's the early cross to the top of the box. Duque gets a touch. Rosas Hernandez couldn't bring it in.
You see the Tigers getting 10 players behind the ball. 9 field players and the goalkeeper, but
Uria had it poked away by Aiden Perez.
they know that Tigers know they have to play a solid team defense against this attack from the Tornadoes.
So far, of the 10 field players for the Tornadoes, I don't think we've seen a weak link from a technical standpoint.
I would agree.
Aiden Perez working hard. Tackle right at the edge of the area. Ball played to midfield. Tyler Lear gets the touch. Nunez off his line. And we'll watch the wind carry this over the end line. And set up for the goal kick.
Yeah, good choice by Nunez.
Already 15 minutes played here in the opening half. Tornadoes had the most dangerous offensive chance. The Tigers were scrambling to get a block in, and it was Nathan Hogue in the end that got between the shot and the goal. There's Daniel Uria. Mulgay, a heavy touch. Nice tackle by Dylan Ellis to take it away from Lamar Mulgay.
Always trying to get that ball between the defender and Tyler from the run on, and couldn't quite get it there.
Cole Jacobson looking to play in Daniel Groth. Good recovery by the Tornado back line. Spencer will have a throw in. Christoph Cruz to take the throw. Actually, yes, he lays it right off to Reinbold, back to Cruz. Chris Miller deals with the header, but Storm Lake first to it. Tornadoes play the through ball. Rosiles trying to get around Perez, does so. Rosiles, can he pull it back? Nice recovery by Perez. And then Chris Miller clears it. Looked like Aiden Perez was beaten there, but he recovered well.
He recovered. You can see there, that's a perfect example of why you have to have some speed in your back line.
Aiden Perez has been very busy at his left back position here in the first 15 minutes of this match.
Yeah, the Tornadoes attack has come more from the right side than the left side, although they've brought it across the field a number of times.
Here's Rosas Hernandez, always dangerous. Kevin Duque gets the header, and it's
over the top.
Over the bar. But those are the two really at that final third that you want to be always wary of when they have the ball. Kevin Duque and Rosas Hernandez.
Substitutions for the Tigers. Sean Slattery and was it Cruz? Taking a break.
Slattery and it looks like Reinbold to the bench.
Okay.
And Riley White comes in at one of those holding positions. And Preston Kruko, the freshman, will move out wide to the right-hand side. Kruko gives you some nice pace out there. He's a big player, just a freshman, but he's got some nice speed. Aiden Perez fouled, and it will be a Tiger free kick.
Yeah, he's the smaller of those two players that are playing on the wing. The Tornado players got some size on him.
Dylan Ellis working hard on this left-hand side, trying to win the ball back, but good work by Rosiles. Rosiles still going forward. Miller gets the challenge in. Plays it towards the middle of the pitch. Efrain Gonzalez got a touch. Now Kevin Duque tries to bring it in. Daniel Groth wins the ball. Plays it towards Tyler Lear, who has two players next to him.
And the Tornadoes know that Tyler's the target, so they'll keep two players near him, make it more difficult for him.
Marmolge rolls it wide for Rosiles. Now to Gerardo Rosiles.
Nice little move there.
Tom, one thing to keep an eye on, I already see Eugenio Rosiles with his hands on his hips. This is just the second game for the Tornadoes, and you have to wonder a little bit, how match fit are they? Their first game was all the way back last Monday. Tigers have already played 4 matches.
Well, and right now they're running into the wind, and when the wind's this strong, it's hard to get your breath. But the Tigers not been able to counterattack cleanly.
Right now it's growing to be more of a possession-based game for the Tornadoes, with the Tigers trying to release those early balls over the top, and Tyler Lear has not been able to get onto the end of them.
And the Tornadoes have been able to bring the ball wide and then bring it back into the middle of the field, about 35 yards out. And there's some space there that they're utilizing. Look to see if the Tigers maybe want to take that space away.
Here's Mulgay again. Look at him with his heels on the touchline, giving the Tornadoes that width and space. Ball played to the top of the box. Nice takedown by the Tornadoes. Miller with the intervention. Spencer still trying to clear it. Big challenge came flying in there. Rosiles dove out of the way, and Chris Miller with the safe clearance. Tigers came in with a big sliding challenge that time, and Rosiles just jumping out of the way.
Well, the Tigers, their balance across their back, top of their box has been pretty good. If one player's beat, he's got two supporting players.
Mulgay with a big throw. The Tornadoes will roll it all the way to their back line. A little bit of a misplayed pass there, but the Tornadoes hold on to it. Here's Efrain Gonzalez. Gonzalez with the back heel.
And watch that. They keep the ball fairly low, either on the ground or not very far up in the air.
And here's Kevin Duque getting around Nathan Hogue. Chris Miller comes across.
Nice
Can't get
touch.
the slide in.
Problem
Shot
here.
taken, and it's over the top. Kevin Duque knows he missed a prime opportunity there.
Cam Cantrell came out, cut the angle, made himself big.
Which is very good when you're 6'4" to begin with.
Yeah.
But Duque that time getting wide, getting around Nathan Hogue, who, while a very strong player, probably doesn't have the pace to consistently keep up with Kevin Duque. $19-20 left to play in the first half. Still scoreless. Tiger girls are, of course, at Storm Lake tonight, and they lead 3-0. Marciano Reinbold back into the game, and Daniel Groth heads to the touchline. And it looks like Groth might be dealing with some kind of issue on the sideline as he's hunched over, looked at by head athletic trainer Kevin Carlson.
Hopefully that's just a scrape or a bump.
Ball rolled in near the top of the 18. Here's Preston Kruko. Chris Miller with a nice step up from the back. Riley White. Cole Jacobson trying to chip it into space, but again, the wind just far too strong for that. And the move doesn't amount to anything for Spencer, but so it's like for like. Reinbold goes right into that spot behind Tyler Lear in that attacking midfield role right in the middle.
Let's see if the Tigers can get on this ball here. They've, these are high floating, really 50-50 balls, and the Tornadoes have won most of them.
Jose Martinez comes into the match for the Storm Lake Tornadoes. He comes in for Gerardo Rosiles.
Tigers win that one.
Perez puts it wide towards Preston Kruko. Ball was behind him. Ends up with Reinbold. Nice pick out of Tyler Lear. Lear into the corner. Tried to line up across, and it's blocked out for a corner kick.
Well, Tyler is going to draw defenders. And that's not a reason not to go to him. But it could be a time. There'll be a time when the best play will be not to go to him, because he'll draw people, and then that should leave space, say, off his back shoulder for somebody else, perhaps, or play it to Tyler, and he can turn and one flick it on or one touch it to a teammate.
Here's Aiden Perez to take the corner kick for Spencer.
And it was dangerous last time for the Tigers.
Good ball put in, and it's right in front of the goal mouth. The keeper once again, Jose Nunez, had no idea what to do with that ball that was floating in. And so far, you'd have to say probably the two toughest chances, or best chances really, were on the corner kicks from Spencer.
Yeah, for Tigers' best opportunities certainly have been those two.
Sylvan Hofer comes into the game for Spencer, number 17, closest to us on this near side.
And down to 16 and a half minutes remaining here in this first half.
And this half has gone by fast.
It certainly has. Oh,
Bouncing
big
ball
bounce.
towards Nunez, who does well just to deal with that.
Golly, if he is one step back, that'll bounce over his head.
Slattery back into the game as well in midfield for the Tigers. Aiden Perez steps out to Mark Jose Martinez. Chris Miller comes across and watches this out. Chris has had a nice start to this game.
Sean Slattery back in the midfield there. He's got an opportunity and pokes it too far.
Sean trying to get around the defender with that touch.
Yeah, if he's wanted to go to space in front of Tyler, he would have had to really open his hip up there. Or if it takes one more bounce and try to go left-footed, and it might have bounced away from him, or bring it down to your own feet.
15:35 left to play in the first half. Still scoreless. It's a Tornado throw-in.
Tigers not able to get a ball to Tyler in a good scoring place in the run of play.
Lamar Mulgay has a strong throw. Into the win. Riley White wins it, but a poor first touch. Now Slattery to Reinbold. Nice step around. Rolls it through for Hofer. Hofer beaten in the challenge.
Fine defensive play there.
Edgar Nunez wins that challenge and plays it out towards Mulgay, but it's out for a throw-in. Slattery to Hofer.
He's got a runner in the middle.
Back to Slattery, but Mulgay wise to it.
And
I think that hit off Sean.
I think so. Be another goal kick.
Mulgay brings it over to Jose Nunez. Nunez has had problems dealing with those corner kicks of the Tigers. But other than that, has not been troubled too much by the Spencer attack. Nunez ball hangs up high in the air, caught by the wind.
That's the last two of those that the Tigers have come down in possession. And there's going to be a foul.
Slattery is fouled, and it's a free kick for Spencer. Now the Tigers have a good chance to put this into the box. You see immediately Chris Miller coming forward along with the rest of the defenders.
Tyler Lear is going to come back and take this ball and might very well take a shot on goal.
He could, and you know, Nunez, as I mentioned, not the tallest keeper, not going to cover a lot of the goal mouth unless he gets a good jump on it.
Longtime Tiger fans will remember a playoff game with a goal from Spirit Lake at a distance like this.
And we saw Tyler hit one from a similar distance against MOC Floyd Valley that he scored on.
There it is to the back post, just over the crossbar.
Yes, and Tyler had a goal against Western Christian on a free kick as well, so he's already shown we've seen it in the past from Tyler, but this season yet again, the good work on the free kicks.
Again, the Tigers come down with it.
Slattery. Good work to get
Nice
around two
touch.
players. Still controls it, plays it back to Perez.
He wins the throw. He'll throw to the space down the line.
Headed on by Mulgay.
And
it's just wide of
almost
flag.
a corner. Boy, that makes a big difference, throw versus a corner.
The difference for the Tigers so far, Tom, in this last few minutes has been bringing down those
goal kicks.
Yeah, the goal kicks, and then that's led to chances to put together some possession. Throw in for the Tigers just shy of the corner flag. Throw in again, Tyler Lear. Turns and crosses early into the box. Catch made by Jose Nunez.
And nobody charging the ball from the Tigers.
Nunez with the punt away. Riley White first to it for Spencer. Well done by Riley.
Tigers win it back again.
But then Preston Kruko couldn't get the pass away. Nice step up by Christoph Cruz. Cruz still with it. Plays Plays it wide for Kruko. Some space.
3 runners in the box.
Early cross, but too close to Nunez. And in fact, it's out for a goal kick, but this isn't the worst thing either for the Tigers, as now another chance to bring in one of those goal kick opportunities, win the ball high up the pitch. Cole Jacobson checks back into the game for Riley White. With 11 minutes left to play, first half. Tom, why isn't Nunez thinking about coming out wide with this to Mulgay, or trying to keep that possession game the Tornadoes had going so well early on?
Well, they were winning these balls here in the first 25 minutes of the game, and then now the Tigers are winning them.
Here's Sylvan Hofer. Hofer closed down by 3 players, and Mulgay hits it off of his shin pads, and it's out for a Tornado throw.
I think if the Tornadoes wanted to play it to Mulgay, he's going to have to come way back because if you play that diagonal ball, if it hangs in the air, the Tigers will shut it down. And a 40-yard ball along the grounds can get run down by somebody. So if they really wanted to come to him, Mulgay just needs to come back a little closer to the goal, and they certainly could do that.
Here's Efrain Gonzalez. Tigers win it back high up the pitch once again. Kruko.
I think the Tigers' midfield is playing higher up and winning more of those balls here in the last 10 minutes.
Sylvan Hofer with the pressure. Now wide to Jose Martinez. To Rosiles.
3 runners. Oh, boy, that was a very good defensive play there by
Nathan
Hogue. Because he had a runner behind him splitting the other two backs. If he doesn't get a piece of that, that's real trouble.
And remember, Hogue had that big block that looked almost a certain goal for Kevin Duque earlier in the half. Kept the Tornadoes off the score sheet. And Tom Hogue, you can see him back there. He's giving out instructions defensively for the Tigers. What to watch for when the Tornadoes come forward.
So Perez trying to go for a big throw. Looks for Lear, brings it down nicely. Slattery, he's looking for somebody to his right.
Slattery shielding off the Storm Lake player.
Good defending by Storm Lake.
It's going to be a free kick given to the Tigers, though.
They really swarmed the ball and took away the passing angles, but got a little bit of a push there.
Chris Miller going to take this free kick as Spencer brings everyone forward apart from Christoph Cruz, who hangs out around the halfway line along with Sean Slattery.
I think he'll play this over the top of Tyler's head. There it goes.
Too close to Nunez.
Carries all the way there.
Feels like the Tigers still have not quite dialed in that wind and how to use it to their advantage in this half. Efrain Gonzalez has his ball cut out. Marciano Reinbold on the chase. Out into the Tigers bench. And here's the throw in for Spencer.
Just under 8 minutes remaining in the half.
Still scoreless. Not a lot of chances created for either team.
No, but much better play from the Tigers here in the last 10 minutes.
Certainly.
So since the 20-minute mark, Tigers have done much better.
Marciano Reinbold pushed off
And
the ball by
here we go.
Efrain Gonzalez.
And I'm sure Tyler Lear is going to go over and take this one. Nope, they're going to set it up this way.
I was going to say, I think this might be one for a left footer.
So is Perez left-footed?
Yes.
All right. So he can hook this ball right in front of them. That line, you see the Tornadoes holding their line, keeping the Tigers onside.
You want to see him put this right on that penalty spot, Tom, where Nunez can't quite come get to it. Perez lifts it in.
To the back post, and it's in! There it is, directly into the far corner.
Now, we will probably not know until we ask him if he was trying to set that up for a teammate or go for goal, but either way, perfectly over the head of the keeper, Nunez, who had no chance to get to that with the placement on the shot. And the Tigers take a 1-0 lead.
And Tigers, knowing the situation and knowing their personnel, they take the left-footed kicker over to the right side of the field to hit that in-swinging ball.
And remember that. It was Marciano Reinbold on the ball, and he was knocked off the ball by the bigger and stronger Efrain Gonzalez, but he did win the free kick, and that set it up for Aiden Perez, who makes it 1-0 Spencer, 32 minutes and 51 seconds into the half. Free kick given once again for the Tigers, and Spencer going to do exactly what they did a little bit ago with putting us into the box.
Chris Miller will take it. Boy, these opportunities here late in the half, a 2-goal lead is a huge difference than one. He can drop this in front. There it goes.
Better delivery
And
here
there's
by
Lear.
Miller, but Tyler Lear couldn't bring it
Just
in.
behind him and in front of Reinbold, right?
Was split the difference between the two.
But the stronger final, since the 20-minute mark in here, the Tigers with a lot more pressure, culminating in that foul, resulted in that direct kick.
It was the Tigers controlling the match right from the start, it felt like, and then the Tornadoes had about a 15-minute spell, and then now it's flipped again to the Spencer Tigers as Preston Kruko launches this one out of play. But it was almost like a light flip switched once the Tigers pressed up a little higher in midfield and started winning these goal kicks like we're about to see right
if
here.
we can win another one here.
And from that point on, Tom, I can only count one or two, maybe three that the Tornadoes have won.
Yeah, I don't think it's that many.
Flicked on by Efrain Gonzalez. And now Rosas
they won
Hernandez
that
gets
one.
to it. Aiden Perez has to come over, but kept alive by Jose Martinez. Martinez rolls it through, and there's Nathan Hogue once again.
Good combination there with Miller and Hogue in the middle of the back line.
And you like the attributes of the two, Tom. We were talking, I think it was in the girls' game the other night about, we'll let this move play out, but having, oftentimes you have a center back step out and more or less attack the ball, and then another drop in for cover. And with the attributes of the two, Nathan Hogue, he's really a stopper, he's strong, and then Chris Miller with his pace to get back and cover up and get to those areas where he's needed. It's really a nice 1-2 combo.
And the Tigers will rely on that team pressure and cover throughout the second half because Storm Lake is going to bring the intensity. They'll probably they have the added opportunity to win. They'll still play the ball on the ground in possession, but they'll look for that opportunity perhaps to hit a ball long,
but
exploit the space behind the back line.
I think back to that after that about 10-minute opening period when things were back and forth and the Tornadoes had the ball for 10, 15 minutes there where they had long 8, 9, 10 pass moves where they were moving it left to right. We've seen hardly any of that as this half wears down to a close.
And you mentioned earlier they've only had one game so far, and whether there's a game fitness question to that or not, I don't know.
And then on top of things, yes, it is windy here today, but it is a much warmer day than
that is true.
A lot of the days here earlier this season.
And the fans and players are grateful for that, probably.
Here's Tyler Lear rolling it through now for Spencer to chase after.
And he got it. Spencer was able to get there and knock it off the Tornado. So another corner kick. And Perez is going to go over and take this one.
Spencer Tiger corner, the third of the match. The first two were problems for goalkeeper Jose Nunez.
So again, he'll aim this ball out between the penalty spot and the 18 and let it curve in. There it comes to the back post.
High lofted ball, a little bit too far away from Spencer players.
Good defensive play by the Tornadoes.
Storm Lake a chance to break.
Chris Miller deflecting that out of bounds and then gets able to get his shape back in the back line.
Sylvan Hofer. Tornadoes with it with 2.5 minutes left in the first half. Kevin Duque, his first touch in quite some time. Duque with a nice turn.
He's moved into the center of the field as well, though. He was playing out on the left wing before.
Urea. Now the Tigers
Problem
need to be
here.
careful. Rosas Hernandez still alive, takes the
And
shot
it's
to the
just-
far post and drags it wide.
Mm.
There's Dario Rosas Hernandez. Always dangerous on the ball, and that time he just kept skipping across the top of the box and created space for himself, and ultimately he was in the clear for a shot.
And the Tigers took him just wide enough. Big header.
Mulgay. Chris Miller chases after it. It's off of Chris's knee and out for a throw.
Minute 40 remaining in this half.
Tigers need to be tough here to close out this half and keep the Tornadoes off the board.
Tornadoes bringing a lot of players forward, only keeping 2 back to mark Tyler Lear. That's all they need to do.
Good header away by Cole Jacobson. .75 seconds left in the first half, and the Tornadoes with the long throw in from Lamar Mulgay. Rosas Hernandez turns away from one challenge, and now a foul given against Spencer. I thought, if anything, that might be against Rosas Hernandez.
Wow, this will be a dangerous place for this to happen for the Tigers.
Tigers immediately step up to avoid the Tornadoes taking the quick free kick, and now the
And he will have them back up. They need
referee
to be
backs them up.
that pair, that 2-man wall needs to be 10 yards away, and they're still not.
Perez and Hofer. Urea to take this.
This could put the pressure on Cantrell. And curving ball away from the goal that time.
Shot taken.
Oh,
Swat
my.
once again.
It's still in.
Flicked on by the Tiger header. Duque keeps it alive with 20 seconds left in the half. And a whistle, and we've got a
an
Storm
injury.
Lake player with an injury. It's Efrain Gonzalez. And referee calls a stop to the play to check on him as Efrain was holding his head in his hands.
And he was down in the box in an offside position, and clearly something, whether he caught an elbow or a finger in the eye or who knows what.
Or
who
head to
knows
head.
what. Could be. And he
And I'm still not
walks
certain.
off, and they will have an injury substitution coming on for him.
Still not quite certain who got that shot in from the wide area, but once again it was all the way across the face of the Tiger goal, and seemed like time stopped there for a moment as looked like the Tornadoes were about to level things up.
When the Tornadoes are trying to do the shot to the far post, which is kind of a textbook thing to do, but they put it outside at least 3 times.
That should be enough to see the first half come to a close. Jose Nunez tries to get the goal kick away in time. But the first half ends with Spencer leading 1-0. The Tigers getting the goal from Aiden Perez in the 33rd minute. Tom, the Tigers, we talked about that big switch about halfway through the half when Spencer started winning the ball higher up the pitch. And then it was those free kicks, the set pieces on corners, and just winning or being fouled and then having free kicks from about 35, 40 yards out that really got the Tigers their best chances in the half.
Well, as we watched the ball control and the possession, certainly in that first half, the Tornadoes had longer stretches of that. And when you're the team that's in that defending against that, a lot of times your way to score is on set pieces, and so they took advantage of that and scored one and came very close on others. Hit the upper right crossbar and post off a corner kick, off a bounce. Hit over the top on another direct kick from Tyler Lear. So those opportunities for the Tigers, they really have to make the most of them, and they still could get some of those here in the second half. The wind doesn't it helps you get down that end, but they can still get those direct kicks, and I think that might be a crucial factor in the second half here. That and the Tornado possession as they come near the top into the attacking third, and the Tigers, it would be important for them to not leave a lot of free space just at the top of the box for
Goalkeeper Jose Nunez, and now the Tigers playing into the wind for the second half. Tom, how does the wind change things here for both teams?
Well, the Tigers are going to have to keep the ball on the ground. Some of those long balls, they'll hang up in the air. And a lot of times, Tiger teams, boys and girls, have often played better into the wind because it forces you to keep it on the ground and you don't outkick yourself. For the Tornadoes, I look to see them do the same thing they were doing in the first half, which is to possess, keep it down low, keep it on the floor. But if they have the opportunity when they want to punch a ball and try to split the defense or get it to space behind the back line, and we use one of their speedy forwards to try to chase it down.
Good to see Daniel Groth back on the pitch here to start this second half. He left the first half about halfway through with a injury. He's got a back issue he's trying to work through. Here is Groth trying to get involved here right off the bat. Brings it down nicely and lays it off to Marciano Reinbold.
Dylan Ellis doesn't appear to have started this half. He's recovering from the flu, so might need a little bit more of a break.
Tornadoes Lamar Mulgay. Mulgay started the half very brightly in the first half, and as play went on, really was not influential in the game.
Now a little bit of a switch for the Tigers here. Daniel Groth is playing up top, and so Tyler Lear is tucked back behind him, so Tyler's not as high up the field.
Tell me if I'm wrong here, Tom, but I think Tyler's still going to get involved. I think that's probably to draw some of those defenders away from him a little bit.
I think so. He's definitely going to be in the attack.
Ball floated over towards Kevin Duque.
It might also put Tyler in a position to battle some of those 50-50 balls that are going to hang up in the wind.
Possession play here by the Tornadoes, which is...
And look at the width they have in there on the wings.
You see Coach McRae imploring his team to stretch things out and get out to those wide areas and close down the Tornadoes. Sean Slattery with the ball high into the air and not going anywhere.
Yeah, that ball's got to come down.
Groth battling. Does really well there. Return ball from Reinbold, not a good one, behind him.
Tornadoes using the width. Put it to space to run onto, and then supporting the ball.
Nathan Hogue clears it out for a throw-in. Throw taken quickly. Efrain Gonzalez pushing up in the attack, and now some space open up behind.
And that's the kind of ball that Tyler's going to be able to win.
Groth has Tyler in the middle if he can find him. Ball didn't quite get through to him.
So I think that's another illustration there of what Tyler's going to bring when he's not as high up the field.
Tom, all of a sudden that counterattack started, and there was nobody back for the Tornadoes.
Yeah, that was created some space for the Tigers very quickly.
Efrain Gonzalez, who's in that holding midfield spot, was all the way up at the top of the 18-yard box in attack. And things were just wide open in the middle for the Spencer Tigers. Sean Slattery boots it high into the air once again. See the backspin on the ball, and it drifts back towards where it was kicked, and now Tyler Lear going to be whistled for the foul. And Tyler's such a physical and strong player that sometimes that just works against him.
Yeah, guys bounce off him.
Even if he's under control and playing.
Now this is the ball with the wind for the Tornadoes that they can hit that, and it's not going to slow down much when it bounces.
Nice turn here to get around Perez. Ball put in, deflected by Jacobson. Hogue to it, and he'll get the clearance away towards Daniel Groth. Tornadoes shield off Marciano Reinbold from the ball and win it. Now Reinbold back to it.
I like that attempt there.
Ball
But
played
he
through the
surrendered.
middle. Space here, and Cantrell scrambles over to knock it away, and then Chris Miller does the safe thing and puts it out, but didn't quite need to.
Yeah, I hope they were trying to talk to each other.
This results in the first corner kick of the match for the Tornadoes, and it comes
This is a key spot in the game here.
with the wind.
It's right-footed, though.
Driven to the edge of the 18, Lamar Mulgay will take the shot. Swing and a miss from Lamar. Tyler Lear has it taken off of his foot by Mulgay. And the Tornadoes in an offside position.
Yeah.
Flag is up.
Yeah, and when that ball was touched, all the Tigers were up. And so the Tornado was in offside position, and when he received the ball, the Tigers had all dropped back. So to the casual observer, it might have looked like, oh, how could that be offside? But it was.
Ball hit long towards Tiger forwards, but Lamar Mulgay wins the header. Marciano Reinbold unable to bring it in. Here's Efrain Gonzalez on the ball. Hits off the back of Sean Slattery. Kevin Duque. Nathan Hogue puts it out wide for a throw-in. 6 minutes played in the second half. Spencer leads 1-0. Tiger goal came in the 33rd minute from Aiden Perez.
That's a nice breakout for the Tigers.
Growth showing some good strength, but Tornadoes do a nice job to win it back. Rosas Hernandez.
Immediately getting players up high up the pitch. Tornadoes are.
Storm Lake keeping the pressure on.
Hogue gesturing and barking orders to his teammates.
Ball crossed in, and Cameron Cantrell with the sure hands brings it in. Boots it into the wind.
Ball's going to hang.
Rosas Hernandez, closed down by two Spencer Tigers, lays it off into a wide area. Back to the top of the 18 for Rosiles. To Lamar Mulgay. Back to Rosiles. The Tigers with the long-range clearance.
And Kevin Duque staying in the middle of the field for the Tornadoes.
Slattery trying to take it away from Rosiles. Efrain Gonzalez steps up from the back. He will be whistled for the foul. Goes in hard against Tyler Lear, knocks him to the turf, and it's a Tiger free kick.
I think we're seeing the benefits of the strategic switch of bringing Tyler back a little bit when the Tigers need to play defense.
Here's Christoph Cruz to take the throw-in. Cruz to Reinbold. Cruz is German, Reinbold is Swiss.
Put it right in the space there.
Now Sylvan Hofer, another German, on the field for the Tigers.
Great play from the Tigers. Force the Tornadoes to clear that. Tyler's going to try to take the long throw. Reinbold running into the box. Jacobson top of the box.
Lear's throw-in is all the way towards the end line and too strong on the throw. He's trying to pick out Marciano Reinbold.
Now this goal kick here is going to go well beyond midfield if he gets a hold of it. So there's 50-50 balls instead of being 35 yards out from goal or at midfield or beyond. Brought down by the Tornadoes, and that'll be scooped up by Cantrell.
Cantrell with the throw, keeps it low on the ground and gets it to Christoph Cruz.
Nice little move and turn.
Rosas Hernandez. Now Rosiles picks out a teammate at the top of the box. Kevin Duque back to goal. Lays it off for Rosas Hernandez.
Tigers swarming the ball.
Tom, look at that. You've got 9 Tiger defenders in a very tight area, but closing down those spaces. There is not a lot of room to work for the Tornadoes.
And that's the way they're going to the Tigers are going to have to defend. And you can see they're not going to take the ball away easily.
Daniel Groth is the one outlet closest to midfield.
So another corner from that side. The last one, the Tornadoes really didn't do much with it.
Played it to the top of the 18, and now Tornado's going to do it again. Roll it back to Eugenio Rosales. Rosales stands it up in the middle of the box, and it's headed wide. Fortunate there for the Spencer Tigers that was not put on goal. Good ball played in by Eugenio Rosales. Spencer tries to play it wide, and Christoph Cruz.
But that's the kind of ball I was talking about early in the second half that the Tornadoes didn't play. Tigers tried to play it, misplayed it, but if that ball's on the ground, that's a possession chance to come out of your end.
Rosales. Aiden Perez with the clearance towards midfield. Growth works back towards it. Now Gerardo Rosales.
Tigers are really in that role now of the defending, counterattacking team.
Batten down the hatches, and then when you've got the opportunity,
Yep.
break forward, and you'll see Tyler Lear coming forward to help out Daniel Growth through the middle. Edgar Nunez hits it long. It's a Tornado throw. No, it's going to be a free kick for a push off there.
It was a push
from
in the back, yeah.
Aiden Perez.
Now, this is with the wind, and again, we've seen goals from this far out before.
Minutes left to play. Spencer leads 1-0.
Cantrell staying back in his box. He needs to do that so it doesn't carry over his head.
Ball lifted right to the penalty spot, headed away by Christoph Cruz. Still not cleared by Spencer.
And it was an offside position.
Kevin Duque trying to make a play on the ball. He was in the offsides position.
That's a good backline play from the Tigers. As soon as that ball came in, they stepped up and put the Tornado in a bad position.
Nathan Hogue on the ball. Rolls it through for Christoph Cruz. Now Marciano Reinbold battling for possession. Storm Lake playing keep away. Nice possession here by the Tornadoes. Cruz with a strong tackle.
And goes out of play. A score from Storm Lake, the girls' game. The Spencer girls were leading 6-0 at halftime with 4 goals from Katie Mosier and 1 from Ashley Overberg and 1 from, don't know who that last one was.
Substitution, Preston Kruko back in the game.
That was Katie Mason with the other goal for the Lady Tigers down in Storm Lake.
Roberto Martinez. Now Urea.
And they'll switch fields here. Tornadoes staying spread out still. And I would think that they will start to use the wide areas, try to stretch the Tiger defense.
Growth coming back to help defend.
And look at all the numbers in the attack from the Tornadoes.
It's good to see the Tigers, though, moving as a unit, shifting across the field from side to side, keeping their shape. Jacobson's header. Hogue. Jacobson again. Goes in for the challenge, doesn't win the ball. Now Kevin Duque with the shot. Kevin Duque has not been able to find the precision on his shots as of yet, but he's had a couple of opportunities.
Even though Cole Jacobson lost that ball there, the Tigers are going to have to be able to make that kind of short pass in order to break out. Fortunate there that did not result in a better shot from Duque, but
another ball the Tigers could not control results in a throw-in for the Tornadoes. Now Slattery. Urea takes the shot from distance. Cantrell had it covered up, and the shot's over the crossbar. But it's starting to feel a little bit like the Tornadoes are turning the screw, Tom.
And they're not shy about taking the long shot.
And the
And
scary
actually, they may be forced to do that with the way the Tigers are playing team defense. Unless there's a crazy deflection, they're probably not going to be able to dribble through the Tigers.
The Tornadoes do have, in my estimation, though, quite a few match winners out there. Kevin Duque, Rosas Hernandez, Uria.
Yeah, they're all capable, even from this spot right here.
Here's Efrain Gonzalez.
And that'll be a Tiger throw.
Sheila Jones, the assistant referee, with the call on this near side. Kruko fouled, and it's a free kick for Spencer. Referee wasn't ready for the free kick.
In conversation with Daniel Uria.
.24 minutes left to play. Tigers lead it 1-0.
That is a wonderful ball over the top.
Played into the wind. Kruko battling for it. Groth has it. Plays it across the top of the 18. Aiden Perez couldn't connect, and now the Tigers pull it out of position a little bit. Rosiles motoring back. Cole Jacobson moves over to cover. Played to the middle. Rosas Hernandez. Step out by Hogue. Couldn't win the ball. Rosas Hernandez still with it. Drags it back. Ball still alive for Uria.
Over the top. Tigers fortunate there. But, you know, the back line got back. They got their shape. They got close together. They got compact. And you make them make a decent play, and they were not able to do that.
Rosas Hernandez, that great drag back ball.
Oh, my, yes.
The Tornadoes, once again, we've seen quite a few shots that have been high over the bar. Not been able to keep it on frame. .22:55 remaining.
And there's Tyler Lear going up to get that one.
Foul against Storm Lake.
And Lear was evidently obstructed.
Looks like the foul was on Efrain Gonzalez.
Now this ball that Hogue hit last time, it's a difficult ball to hit into the wind, but if you can get it enough on it, it'll just gently come down behind the back line and didn't get a shot on goal, but an opportunity, and there it is again.
Tyler Lear flicks it on. Preston Kruko unable to find a teammate. Duque's touch too heavy. Chris Miller plays it, but right to Uria.
Trying to find a teammate wide.
That wind should be enough to play that out, but Perez makes sure of it.
You know, and Chris, I like the idea there. If you just turn and crack it down the other end, it's going to hang up in the air, but not enough on that ball to connect. And then your teammate's got to be coming to the ball.
Tyler Lear breaks up the play. He's tackled and a foul against Storm Lake.
Yep, push from behind there again.
I think Coach McCrae's got that spot on, putting Tyler in a little deeper
bet.
role.
You bet.
Free kick chance now for Chris Miller. Chris is going to play it long. Dylan Ellis back in for Spencer. That ball was played towards him. Duque picks it up
wide,
in midfield.
Runners wide left and right.
Duque to Rosas Hernandez. Nice touch. Takes the shot, but right at Cameron Cantrell, who spilled it for a moment, but covers it up.
Had the right angle. Went off his hands. He knew where it was. Spun around. Picked it up.
Another shot from distance. That one much more speculative. And Cantrell will take his time for this punt.
Hitting the last few much lower. Trying to get the possession for the Tigers.
Aiden Perez whistled for the
I think
foul.
Yep. So again, the Tornadoes will have a long ball here with the wind at their back. They have an opportunity to put this right kind of into the mixer there around the penalty spot. A lot of people be running there. They're already there.
Daniel Groth really the only Tiger not back defending this free kick.
Cam Cantrell's going to have a decision to make.
Ball lifted in, headed away by Perez, and then cleared by Kruko.
Cantrell didn't have to decide to come out and get it or not. He had his teammates to do that. Again, trying to dribble through three Tigers.
Blocked at the top of the box by Jacobson.
Good team defense.
Tigers have had a lot of defending to do this half and have done a nice job so far. Here's Daniel Groth.
Wonderful touch.
Jacobson with the win. The Tornadoes back on it. Hogue dragged out of position out wide. A substitution going to be made here. Two Tigers to re-enter the game. Sean Slattery and Marciano Reinbold. It looks like Slattery going to move into that role Daniel Groth was playing. Or is Slattery going to move out? Yes, Slattery's moving wide right.
Well,
I guess it's
we'll see who
yet to
goes
be
up top.
seen here,
Yeah.
yes. Marciano Reinbold is coming into the Preston
Slattery,
Kruko role.
I think Slats will do that.
Makes sense with his speed and quickness.
Down to just about 18 minutes remaining.
Perez with the nice block. Aiden Perez has had a really nice game, even apart from the goal. Towards Slattery. Rosas Hernandez will pick this up on the move.
Tornadoes keeping their width on both sides, and I'm gonna watch for them to start to use that as much as possible.
Roberto Martinez. Daniel Uria. Rolled back across the back line to Edgar Nunez. Nunez steps up, lifts it towards the box, and Cantrell quickly off his line. Scoops it up.
Cam is playing well.
Bouncing ball through the midfield. Kneed on by Edgar Nunez.
Tyler closing down on the ball, forcing a pass. And you see the Tigers setting back, and the ball gets played, and somebody steps out to pressure. This is dangerous, and Cam, big, tall,
That's where it pays. That's where it pays to have a 6'4" keeper that can jump. Runner-up in Class 3A state track meet last year.
And there's a push from behind.
That looked like the football field. Sean Slattery, a quarterback, got tackled.
And Hogue will probably send one of those balls floating up over the top of the line there.
Hogue will have it right at midfield.
Tornadoes are going to hold their line at about 25 yards. There's that driven ball over the top, but it'll go all the way to the keeper.
Keeper Jose Nunez.
And he's
comes
going to
claim
come out throwing quickly.
Decent distribution. Almost picked out a teammate.
Oh, yeah. Cole Jacobson does a good job, though, getting enough of it so that the midfielders can come back and help the defense, and they'll get their shape back again.
And that's something I've seen a little more of this year. We saw it against MOC Floyd Valley. The goalkeeper, Karsten Marker, was throwing the long passes. He was getting them all the way out to midfield as well. And I think it's just a way to have a little more accuracy with your distribution.
Yeah, if you're capable of the long throw, you're probably more accurate with the throw. And anything you can do to make it higher percentage pass for your team. You want to take advantage of that when you can.
Ball rolled across to Roberto Martinez. Now Daniel Uria. Tyler Lear closes down quickly.
Again, you see the ball moving side to side, and then the Tigers close. That'll be over the top.
The Tornadoes have just not found the accuracy on their shots here tonight. Sylvan Hofer comes back in for Dylan Ellis.
Inside of 15 minutes now.
And Dylan working his way back from the flu. Hasn't quite looked 100% here tonight.
That's a nice low-driven ball by Cantrell.
Mulgay shows off his quickness.
Haven't had called Mulgay's name anywhere near as much in the second half as the first half. Tornadoes in their attack really more coming on the left side. Use the space behind the defense. And Sean just pushed, but it's Tornadoes are in possession of the ball, so.
Stepping up as Reinbold wins the ball back. Slattery couldn't bring it in. His pass was just behind him. But every time the Tigers push up, need to be a little careful. As
I was going to say, if you push too many people forward and lose the ball, the Tornadoes get a lot of people high up the field very quickly.
Here's Lamar Mulgay. Mulgay gets around Hofer with ease, striding towards the box. Still with it. Pulls it across to Duque. Duque steps inside the area. Still alive. Pulled back towards Rosas Hernandez. Tries to skip around Riley Whitey, wins the ball. Both sidelines.
Tyler Lear again coming back in that connecting position between the midfield and forwards.
Ball still alive. Shot taken, and it beats Cameron Cantrell. Efrain Gonzalez steps up from the back and connects on the shot.
They finally struck one well and to the side. And very quickly. They were kind of a bouncing ball. And now here's an opportunity that the Tigers are going to have to step up.
66-51. The goal scored by Efrain Gonzalez.
And they finally got one of those shots from about 25 to 30 yards out, and they put it on goal. Now with a 1-1 score and just over 13 minutes remaining, the Tigers still need to play that sound team defense, pressure the ball, cover for each other.
Whistle and a foul against the Tornadoes.
And it is if you can get one, you want to get one. Not quite enough on it.
Tornado sideline going
There's
crazy.
a green wave coming forward.
Cutting back inside.
Five Tornadoes.
Still alive. Rolled across to Rosas Hernandez. Couldn't control it, and Nathan Hogue with the interception. Cole Jacobson steps up. Plays it to Tyler Lear. Tyler shows good strength. Advantage play to the Tigers. Tyler still with it. Lear charging forward. Rolls it through looking for Slattery, and a strong challenge made, but a poor clearance by Nunez, and the Tornadoes fortunate that Lamar Mulgay was Johnny on the spot. Got a Tornado player down injured in midfield, Roberto Martinez. Still feeling the effects of the challenge with Tyler Lear. And that challenge made at the back was from, I believe it was Fernando Elizalde.
And Martinez wants to come off.
Martinez still feeling that
moving,
challenge.
Moving pretty gingerly.
substitution going to take place with 11:44 remaining. The Tornadoes have tied things up in the 67th minute. Jose Nunez returns to the field. Actually, that's number 9, Hector Nunez. Here's Edgar Nunez. Back to Rosiles. Elizalde. To
Switching
Uria.
fields, side to side.
Tyler Lear back to break things up.
Nice little touch there from Reinbold.
Reinbold keeps the possession. He can dribble this for a while.
And there's a ball for Slattery.
Keeper stays on his line. Slattery going to collect this.
Wonderful play by Reinbold.
Drags it back, and unfortunately that hits off the shin pad of Sean Slattery, and it will be a goal kick. That's just an unfortunate break there as it bounced off of Sean again after the challenge by the Tornadoes.
Wonderful play by Reinbold to get possession of that ball and maintain it, dribble it into the wind. He's got it again.
Reinbold.
He's got a, he was looking for a runner on the left wing.
Ball played through. Slattery gets the touch. Now Hector Nunez. Efrain Gonzalez, the goal scorer.
And
Challenge
here we go.
and a foul.
This is going to be a yellow card.
Riley White will head to the sideline for a 5-minute break. And the Tigers will be down a man in midfield until they make the substitution here.
And so the Tornadoes can take this as a long shot with the wind.
Preston Kruko will come in for Riley White. Tom, the first half we talked about the concerns maybe for Storm Lake of tired legs having this be just their second game, but here in the second half, it did seem like they were waning a little bit in the first half, but we've seen the waves coming forward, and the Tornadoes have looked lively again.
Yep. They're doing a great job of bringing a lot of numbers forward.
Dario Rosas Hernandez stands over this, as does Fernando Elizalde.
Tiger line is pretty deep. Oh, and they take it short.
Play it short. Rosas Hernandez takes the shot, and it was always
That's
going
it.
wide, but close.
That's an interesting idea, and he actually got himself in a pretty good shooting spot.
All kinds of space in front of them. The Tigers had dropped off and left no one in that area.
That ball's going to hang. Lear's going to go up for it. Could not come down with it. But Growth comes down, or Preston Kruko came down with it.
Kruko couldn't quite bring that in on the run. That would have been tough to do.
Oh, nice little touches.
Look out, stepping up at the Tornadoes. Played wide. 9:20 left to play.
And that'll be a corner. The Tornadoes have gone short on some of these and try to get themselves maybe a better shooting angle.
They've gone short, I believe, on their first 2 previous corners.
But you never know when they're going to cross that up. Mogay's out there, and I think they're going inside on this one.
Different corner taker, Daniel Uria.
Over
Lifted
the
head
top.
on and
Whoa.
just over. Good effort by the Tornadoes, but unable to sneak it under the post.
8.5 minutes remaining in regulation time. Be important for the Tigers to get possession of this goal kick and not just have it end up back in their box.
Marciano Reinbold with the touch. Storm Lake back on it. Sylvan Hofer couldn't quite take it away. 8 minutes left. Still knotted up 1-1. Jacobson.
Tried to play in possession there. The Tornadoes won the race to that ball. Good play by
Christoph Cruz.
Cruz.
Urea with it in a wide area. Headed away by Chris Miller.
Tornadoes waste no time.
Here's Kevin Duque takes the shot, and safe hands by Cameron Cantrell.
Boy, got himself in a good shooting angle.
Headed down by Storm Lake. Efrain Gonzalez first to it. Now Edgar Nunez. To Mulgay. Chris Miller chips it towards Dylan Ellis. Mulgay again with 6:55 left to play in regulation to take the throw in.
Look at the spacing, the balance that the Tornadoes have in their offense.
Mulgay close to the touchline, rolls it down the line to a teammate. Dylan Ellis couldn't keep it in. Ball lifted in towards the penalty spot. Fall over to Urea, and it's just wide. Tigers with their biggest break of the match as that was not cleared by Spencer, and Urea was waiting for it. Couldn't sneak it inside the post. Tornadoes are racking up the shots in this game, but they've not been able to find the accuracy on a lot of their efforts.
Driven low ball directly to the Tornadoes.
Headed on by Urea. Duque. Duque not giving up on it.
There's an opportunity.
Tyler Lear tackled near the halfway line. The advantage played.
And Krupko.
And then a foul against the Tornadoes going to be called as referee was, no, it's going to be against the Tigers?
I'm not sure where this is going to go.
Thought for a moment he was going to pull it back.
He whistled it down for injury.
Looks like it's going to be Tornado ball, but just went back to check on Tyler Lear for a minute. I thought he was going to pull it back to that spot for a foul, for the foul previous.
And with the clock stopping for that injury, Tyler will leave. I'm sure we'll see him momentarily.
Tyler to the touchline as Spencer makes a switch. Dylan Ellis comes back towards the attack as Aiden Perez moves back into the back line at left back.
5.5 to go.
Nunez to Elizalde. Back to Nunez. Urea switches the play nicely. To Lamar Mulgay in a wide area. Edgar Nunez.
Overlapping run from Mulgay.
Mulgay back to his left foot. Nathan Hogue clears it. Hits off a couple of players. Still alive for the Tornadoes. Rosas Hernandez with the shot. Blocked by the Tigers again. Urea tried to bring it down. Gets back around Christoph Cruz. Cruz recovers well, and the Tigers looking to get this away. A shirt pull by Urea. No foul given. Ball played through the middle. Chris Miller's clearance out into touch. Urea very easily could have been whistled for the foul there. He was pulling back the Tiger player by the shirt collar.
And that should be a Tiger ball.
4:05 remaining.
2 substitutions for the Tigers. Hofer and Krupko leaving.
Lear and Lucas Kubat, I believe, back in.
Looks like Tyler's going to go up top. And that Dylan Ellis is going to play that role behind him. That is very much a defensive role. In this half here against this team, against the Tornadoes.
Daniel Uria. Sliding challenge by Nathan Hogue, but Rosas Hernandez stays with it.
And that's a giveaway.
Rosiles to Nunez. And now Mulgay. Return pass to Nunez. He can cross. Lifts it to the middle of the box, not cleared by the Tigers, and the shot is taken by Kevin Duque. Always dangerous, and he gets the goal.
Tigers had possession and tried to clear it, and the Tornadoes intercepted the ball in that, just at the top of the attacking third, about 35 yards out, and brought it wide, and then that crossing ball created all kinds of havoc in the face of the Tiger goal.
76-57, Kevin Duque with the goal. And the Tornadoes have certainly had more of the chances here in this match and created the better goal-scoring opportunities. And I think the scoreline probably reflects fairly on the Tornadoes right now.
And the Tigers are going to have to bring some numbers forward now. And they'll be even more vulnerable to a counterattack, but they have no choice.
And this is what the Tigers did in the extra time against MOC Floyd Valley. Chris Miller now brought to the front of the attack, and the Tigers really throwing everything forward with 3 now along the back line. Miller does give a lot of pace up front for Spencer now.
And there's a push against the Tigers.
Chris goes through the back of the Tornado player. He's whistled for the foul. Now the referee having a word with Chris.
Just a verbal warning.
2:15 left to play. Clock's still running. The Tornadoes will take their time with this free kick. Nunez to take it. 2 minutes left. Spencer trails 2-1. Header
Good
one
head
by
ball.
Jacobson. Couldn't quite get through to Chris Miller. Slattery. Now Jacobson. Kubat will chase this down. Trying to cut inside against Mulgay, and Mulgay with the clearance. Lamar Mulgay's had a good game. Cantrell with the miss kick. Christoph Cruz not going to be able to keep this in.
Yeah, Kemp should have taken a touch there first. Difficult ball to strike one time.
Bouncing back towards him.
And
Tornadoes will play it near the corner
they'll
flag.
take it in the corner, and they'll just keep it in there, make the Tigers kick it out, get another throw, maybe get a corner, which is what they got now. 1 minute remaining in the game.
Fourth corner of the match for the Tornadoes. Going to take